What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Now, it was just last week when we unfortunately heard that there had been, I think, a break-in in the home of Shea Gilgeous Alexander when the team was out of Oklahoma in Washington playing the Wizards. During that game, there had been an attempted break-in of his home. And I think that followed, a break-in of Jaylen Brown's home, or it was a tie-in with Jaylen Brown. It was either his property or I think the property of a family member or something like that. I think it was his property, though. Now comes word that former NBA player, former Laker, Christian Wood, had to scare off three men who broke into his LA home by firing shots into the ground. So former Lakers forward Christian Wood reportedly fired shots to scare off three men who had broken into his LA house when he was inside. This happened this Wednesday afternoon. The suspects busted through the back door of the multi-million-dollar home in the 14800 block of Otsego Street in Sherman Oaks. The LA Police Department said yesterday, according to multiple LA TV news stations, Wood allegedly confronted the men and fired three shots toward the ground. The LAPD did not confirm that Wood was in the house per its policy of not releasing the names of victims. However, KCBS, Fox 11, KTLA, and KNBC reported that Wood was indeed in the home and was the one that fired the shots. Police said that no property was taken, and the suspects wearing black drove away in a gray Jeep Grand Cherokee. Wood was with the Lakers from 2023 to 2025, February of 2025, when he was released. The Long Beach native averaged 6.9 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 17.4 minutes per game during the 2023-24 season, but didn't play last season because of a knee injury. Wood has played for 8 teams after finishing his college career at UNLV. He was an undrafted free agent and originally signed with the Philadelphia 76ers. For his career, he averaged 13.6 points and 7 rebounds and 23.2 minutes per game. And he is 30 years old. So definitely we've seen a massive uptick of athletes being targeted via robbery. And considering that we're in the holiday season, considering that we're in hard times, obviously, financially, also considering that we're in a time of year where it gets darker earlier. So the cloak of darkness obviously will give people more cover to commit these types of crimes. And I mean, that's pretty much what you have. There you have it, man. And, you know, I'm just going to go out on a limb. I'm just going to say it, man. I'm going to assume that these robbers are probably targeting people that, well, you know what? I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. But, you know, it wouldn't be any better if they were targeting people that don't look like them. But y'all know I'm trying to go with that one, man. But I'm not even going to do that on YouTube no more. All I'm going to say is, it's just a shame, man. You can't have nothing, man. And, you know, look, another thing, man. I don't know what's going on with the type of security systems some of these people have. What I think is going on is that a lot of people think that because they live in, I guess what you would call a nice neighborhood, that they live in a neighborhood where previously these types of crimes were unheard of, or almost never happened. I think what's going on now is that false sense of security is being just absolutely debunked, and they need really up-to-date, surefire security systems. And another thing, I'm sorry, but I think when a person unlawfully enters onto your property, you have every right to defend yourself. You should have every right to defend yourself. The hell with these laws where someone breaks into your home and they fall and somehow they get the suit. Now you weren't supposed to be there anyway. My thing is, you break into somebody's property, you present a threat to that person. They don't know what your intentions are. If it's been proven that you broke into that person's property, obviously without their knowledge, where you pose a threat, they should be able to take out that threat without any legal ramifications, as long as it was justified. No legal penalties, no legal penalties whatsoever. Because that's a crime that needs to be cut down, man. Is from what I understand, I think burglaries, and if I had to take a guess, I haven't looked at these statistics, man, but I would think that two crimes that have gone way up in recent years are burglaries, home invasions, and desecration of vehicles. I would say that those types of crimes have gone way up, and the penalties for those crimes need to be tightened even more so. Yeah, I'm not one of these guys that, oh man, it comes from a poor man. Fuck all that shit. I came from poverty. I was poor growing up. Didn't know it. Weren't the poorest people. There's people that was poorer than us, but relatively speaking, I was poor growing up. Didn't really know it, and I'm not saying I was an angel, but I never drifted into a life of lawlessness. And there's some people that come from means that drift into a life of lawlessness, at least momentarily. So it has nothing to do with, it always do with social economic factors. That's the bullshit, man. It's culture. A lot of it's culture, man. And we live in a culture right now that almost encourages unlawful behavior. Until we start addressing that shit and what the real problems are, which we never really can, because YouTube will get rid of your shit or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad that nobody was hurt in this situation. But these young dudes, man, they think everything's sweet, man. They think everything's sweet. But at the end of the day, you lucked up that one. You lucked up with that situation. What will happen if you committed one of these break-ins where you're just trying to take something, right? It's bad enough you're trying to take something that don't belong to you, but you're trying to take something. You're trying to take wealth from one brother and spread it amongst you and your friends, right? What happens if things go sideways and somebody becomes a memory? What happens then? Now it's no longer just a robbery. It becomes something else. Then you either have to live with that for the rest of your life as far as your conscience is concerned. And if you don't get away with it, you got to deal with the consequences legally for the rest of your life. It's not worth it, man. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.